Hello everybody, this is JP Bewley, and I'm going to take you through a quick EVO overview showing you the functionality of the mobile app for the normal end user or consumer, and then we'll turn over and take a look at how the science behind the scene works so that EVO can personalize itself with artificial intelligence for each of the different users. And then we'll take a quick look at some of the advanced analytics and reporting on the backside. So if we start with the EVO onboarding process, one of the things that we learned from users is that fitness apps today were overly complicated. And so we really sought with the EVO experience to create a very simple, easy to use, easy to get signed up for application that, that introduced itself to the user and made understanding your fitness data very simple and straightforward. It takes the users through a pretty standard onboarding process, and you'll see that it is very simple. We start with first name and last name, and then we're going to capture some additional information like email address and other things. This population code, though, is really important because it allows us to personalize EVO for a particular company or organization or product. And the EVO can change and have different rule sets for the artificial intelligence for many different companies. Once the user picks passwords, we're able to serve up terms and conditions that talk about how the data is going to be used that are specific to a program. And then we take in some basic information related to the gender of the participant. We need to understand a little bit about their date of birth, as well as height and weight. And those demographic information start the formulation of this concept that we call an archetype behind the scenes. You'll notice the user here is using this ring to dial up or dial down what their height or weight is. And this ring metaphor is really, really important throughout the app. We use it not only as a control mechanism to input data, but we use it as a feedback mechanism to communicate to the users on how they're doing on a daily basis. It's one of the ways that EVO communicates to you. Once the users have done that, then they permission in the health data that they would like to share as part of the program. And this health data then at this point passively is collected behind the scenes. The user doesn't have to do anything else. One of the things we really sought to do was to eliminate the need for user to input manual data. The user then picks a focus area, and this focus area is based off the concept that you need to pick one thing and really focus in on it and get good at it before you try to optimize other things. This is where EVO then begins to introduce the user to this concept of a wellness ring. And the wellness ring, simply put, is sort of like a mood ring for your overall health. When everything's going good, the ring is calm and blue, like it is as you see on screen. But as you start to deviate from your progress and your goals and your biometrics, this ring will begin to change, and it changes in some pretty unique ways. As the ring begins to oscillate at a higher speed, and as the color starts to change, that as you progress through the day, that means you're getting further and further off of your goal. As you get further and further off of your goal, EVO begins to give you visual feedback around what's working and what's not working, and you can actually drill down and see the lower level of detail within each one of these rings. If you're more of a data person and you want to kind of understand that next level of detail, a lot of users we find though that are kind of standard insurance customers, they really like the fact that EVO focuses on making the feedback loop very, very simple. Now, in addition to this feedback loop, EVO is also going to actually interact and talk with the user. And so I'm going to hop back out to our main screen here, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of that, where EVO is beginning to message directly with the end user. And you'll see that EVO will actually communicate with the end user by pushing notifications directly to their home screen. And so it's like having a friend in your pocket that's paying attention to all your behaviors and your biometrics. And when it sees something that's an opportunity for you to do better, it actually then engages with you and talks to you through these what we call nudges. And the nudges are based off this concept from behavioral economics. There's over 10,000 things that EVO can say to you, and if you're curious about how EVO decides what to say to you, it's fundamentally based off a concept that we call archetypes. And archetypes is a fancy way of saying that we put your age, your gender, your height, your weight, your behavioral patterns, and some information about your personality into a algorithmic model, and that algorithmic model then determines what EVO should say at any particular time. An example of an archetype is an ally. That's someone who has a general attitude towards their health that I can't do this. I don't feel that I can make any behavioral changes to live a healthier life. And so in that case, EVO switches to this notion of I need to create awareness of current behaviors and begin a positive engagement with the app. My messaging with the user is going to be very minimal, and my nudges are going to be framed towards encouragement and rewards. As opposed to someone who's, say, a life coach, and this is a person whose general attitude is I am. I'm in the process of changing my behaviors to form a new habit and taking consistent actions to build up to their goal. The goal of EVO is to celebrate their success, to keep the momentum going, develop support networks, and a relationship with EVO as an accountable partner to help them progress on their journey. Behind the scenes, we analyze all this data using artificial intelligence and machine learning to make a variety of recommendations and predictions, but also scores for the insurer. One of the things we do, it may sound a little bit morbid, but life insurers, they bet every day on longevity and how long people are going to live, and they're looking for new ways to assess risk. And so we calculate pre-diabetic risk factors, heart disease anomalies that we see in the data, sleep anomalies, and from that we can actually project a lifestyle age bias. And so what that simply it says is that if we have an individual that's male that is today 46 years old, their standard life expectancy is 78, and that because of the way that they're living today and things that we see in the data, we believe that they're actually going to live 3 years less than that. And so their projected life expectancy is 75. They only have 29 years remaining, or 39% of their overall life. Again, it may sound a little bit morbid, but it's exceptionally powerful for an insurance company. It's also exceptionally empowering for the individual when you can see the impact of your daily choices projected on the long run. It helps motivate people towards making longer term change. So that's a real high level overview of EVO. I hope that's helpful and would look forward to telling you some more. Thanks for watching.